Hey guys, I'm so excited for this week's episode. We are diving into signature programs, how to create your signature coaching program. I can't tell you how much time I spent in the beginning stages of my business creating that signature program. It was about 50 hours between creating recipes, shopping for recipes, testing recipes, writing the content for the program, and making sure that I had a program that I could use to onboard my clients. It was something that really was a game changer for me before I was trying to convert clients to just my coaching. And I realized people needed something tangible. That's why today we are diving into how to create your signature offer. All right, Michelle, let's talk about this. I've asked you to come back because I wanted your input on this amazing topic. What are the steps that we have to take to create our signature offer? And before we even go on, guys, this means that you really need to know, what do you want to be known for? What problems you solve? What is your client actually looking to achieve in their health goals, so that you're really clear on the outcome of this program? What could be step one? So a coach is coming and they're sitting there struggling, saying, oh my God, I've downloaded every template free on the internet. What do I do now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is knowing what you are going to specialize in, like who is your niche. And this way, when you know that, you'll know when you know your ideal client, what are their problems? What are the symptoms that they're going through? What are you looking to solve for them? And
What are the
that's,
steps? What
yeah,
are the
and that's
steps that you
gonna,
have to take them A to Z?
yeah, and that'll also help like with the length of the program. Like what do they actually need? Someone who's trying to lose 10 pounds doesn't need as long as someone who's trying to lose 30 pounds, right? So knowing the length of the program, and knowing what that problem is, that end result that they can have a big win, at the end of the program and be able to give you testimonials for, which is why you really need to
Yeah.
know like what is the topic of your program and what is it going to cover? And maybe it's going to cover a couple of things, right? Like if depending on how long it is, maybe, one week is talking about sleep and one week is talking about hydration or, or clean eating or something like that. It's like once you know the problem and what they're doing right now, that's like why their body's a mess, then you'll be able to go in and holistically fix that step by step and lay it out.
And make your template. So a
Yeah.
lot of you may think about, what modules do you want to actually lay out? When we create the done for you programs, which are they're plug and play programs. I mean, they don't come in templates. They come with full content written. We sit there and we decide, what is the goal of this program? Who is this going to serve? Who is this program right for? And who is this program not right for? Then we take a template and we put all of the headlines so that we know the topics that are included in that program. We put in a Google Drive, and then we get one of our writers to start writing. If that's the case, if you're going to write your program, you want to definitely outline that. You can take sticky notes and put them on the door and start to outline your program. You could do this on a Google Doc, but you want to know what is the skeleton of the program, so then you can start filling the holes with content. What would you say is the most important when it's figuring out the time length of the program?
Yeah, really looking at, what does your ideal client need in their situation? So, for example, if someone's coming in and they just need to have a first program
Yeah.
before they go on to something else, maybe they just want to shed a little bloat or a couple of inches or
A
something
nice
like.
detox or an elimination diet or a weight loss program.
Yeah, and they're looking for something like a fast win result. That might be something that's like 14 or 21 days or something
Right.
like that. And when they really have a big problem of, a horrendous gut issue or, something with their hormones, that can't really be solved and
That's
they
going
can.
to be a 3 to
Yeah.
6 month.
Yeah, and really knowing that and being okay with that, and then setting that up and really looking at it as like what is that journey? Oftentimes too, I think for health coaches, usually, for the most part, I'd say 90% of health coaches pick a niche and serve an ideal client that is similar to their own situation. And typically you've already walked that walk, or you've at least walked some friends through it, or whoever, and you know exactly what that is. So it's really accessing that step by step that you took for your own health,
Yeah.
or that you wish you took had you known what you know now after nutrition school. So I think looking at it from that way, and also outlining like yeah, this is a topic that they're going to learn, but what is that quick win? What's that result going to be for the week for them? And what's the action that they have to take to achieve that in that week's time? So again, like for example, if it was sleep, like the action step is they have to get and log a certain number of sleep, and then maybe they're learning about why sleep is important and the different types.
Making their bedroom a night cave and EMF waves and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Fully supporting them, and that's going to vary based on whatever, niche a coach is in. Like if it's, trauma, or if it's something more with journaling or something emotional or anxiety, things like that. So I think it takes some time to put yourself in your ideal client's shoes and just say, what do they need as far as hand holding step by step, and what should they be starting with? Like just starting, obviously first is always like, welcome, getting started. These are the
here are your program. Here's what you need to buy.
Exactly. Yeah. Taking inventory of whatever they have going on in their home right now, things they need to clean out, their pantry, their, habits, things that might need quick, fast changes to get started in on the program. And then also deciding on how you want to deliver that program.
There's like the teaching element of your program where you're actually giving information. I think for a lot of coaches who do one-on-one, who want to automate, it's so important to have your signature program, because then you're able to take people through and save yourself time. It gives you a structure for your one-on-one. It gives you a structure for your group as well. But I think about that information part and then being able to give them action steps, like real concise action steps. I always love that in a program.
Yeah, I love that. And I love having what I've always loved, because I've used the Done For You programs too. What I've always loved is having it, one, done. And then two, being able to go in, tweak little things that I felt like I needed to, but you can go in now with all the course platforms that are out there and everything that's out there. You can record, from the slides and modules. And if it's a course, have things downloadable, and it's so digestible for people. And I think what I love about that most is then you're showing up for the coaching, like even if you're coaching one-to-one, like way back in the day, we didn't really have that type of stuff. We were sending like unlisted YouTube videos, or putting it in Dropbox, and it was
have platforms like Practice Better and Kajabi and Kartra.
None of that, which is insane. So we had to deliver it, or even in the Facebook group, or something like that, but there was no guides or anything like that. So just making sure that you make it so easy on yourself that once you know the steps, then it's easy for your clients to know the steps. They can watch the video, consume the content, and then you can show up, whether it's private or in a group setting, to coach them through that process. So the coaching calls are really truly coaching calls, and not a teaching element at the same time. Because back when I had first started health coaching, you were kind of doing it a little bit at the same time, because it wasn't really like, oh, hey, you can watch this video really ahead of time. There wasn't the technology we have today. So a little bit of going over that, then going through the coaching aspect was like a longer call, things like that. So I think now utilizing the technology that's available and recording what you can, like what don't you need to be present for live, recording that, making sure that's accessible, within your program.
Saving you time with your one-on-one or group.
Exactly. Yeah. I think
what would you say is the biggest struggle that coaches have when it comes to creating their signature offer?
Yeah, I think it is that step-by-step process. I think it's knowing what steps you want
and not giving too much information. I think that's we overcoach, or we give too much information instead of really laying out the foundation of the program. I know this is what we do with the Done For You program so well. It's really lay it out to have that chunk by chunk information to make it easy to digest.
Yeah. And yeah, from my experience, from like a content writing piece, like working with coaches in the past on all different kinds of niches, even outside of health, they always wanted to kind of unleash everything they've learned in their school. And it's like, but they don't need to, they don't need to know that. So what does your
Right.
ideal client actually need to know? They're not getting certified. They're not going to become a life coach or
Yeah.
a health coach. They just need to know what steps to take so that they are not bloated or that they can eat food and not be sick after, you know? So like really knowing what their pain point is and what is it that you need to give them and not giving them too much extra, because that's overwhelming and they're not in it to be a health coach, you know, they're just in it to
Right.
fix their own problem.
I mean, I think about my first signature offer, which was a detox. And what it allowed me to do was really to systemize, one, to convert better on a phone call, two, to systemize my one-on-one. And then I started doing groups. It allowed me to have like this basis for then a jump to that next to work on the gut. So it's like
Mhm.
everyone came to me and did an elimination diet first and then went and did their gut or mindset. I had two paths. It was a gut or mindset one. And it really worked. I found that a lot of people, even though my signature program was on gut, I found that a lot of people are coming to me for weight loss. Let's talk a little about messaging your signature program, because I feel
Yeah.
like there are coaches out there that have great signature programs, but they're not converting on that discovery call. Let's just dive into that a little.
Yeah, that's where really knowing what are those problems that your ideal client is faced with, and they have to be like some deep problems, not just like, oh, I have this little thing, it affects
Right.
me sometimes. It should really be something that it's a painful thing for them every single day, and they're really looking to fix this. And you should know what that feels like for them. What's the emotion connected to that?
Yeah.
What are they doing right now? You know, like if someone has gut issues, they might be relying on Tums or Rolaids or antacids, or maybe they've gone through, you know, everything and been to a digestive expert, you know, as far as a doctor. And it's like now they're coming to you with like, I need help right now, you know? So if you know that and you know what that feels like, then you
Yeah.
should be talking about those situations. Like, have you ever sat in a waiting room at the doctor's office hoping that this doctor and this visit would be able to solve this problem? Or have you ever, you know, bought out the antacid section trying to figure out which one was going to work for you? You know, like just really being able to do it relatable to what their everyday life is like. Those are the questions that should be on the sales page, in the emails, on social
On your
media.
work with me. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so that they can actually say yes. They should be checking off the boxes in their mind, like, yep, that's me. Yes, that's exactly what I'm feeling about it. And that's what I'm experiencing. And that's why it's so important to know when any signature program you have, whether you have one or more for niches or sub niches, you should know specifically what it solves. So you
Yeah.
could speak directly to that, which is what we do within the Done For You programs. With the sales page is always very specific to that specific
With the
program.
workshops and the freebies,
Yeah, exactly. Hmm.
making sure the message is cohesive. I
Yeah.
think, guys, when you're sitting there thinking about your signature program, really take that time to step into your ideal client shoes. Take that time to think, what is my ideal client struggling with? What are they searching for on the internet? What are they Googling? Where do they feel stuck? And know that that signature program is going to be the solution. So make sure that what you're marketing and your freebies and your workshops relate to that signature program. I can't tell you how many times I hear from a coach who says, I'm not converting. And then I ask them what their freebie is. And it's completely, it would make no sense for that person to opt into that freebie and then go to a discovery call and then convert to that signature program. So if you
Yeah.
haven't written your signature program, and you're looking at the Done For You programs, you can use podcast 25 to save 25%.
No
Um, if
problem.
you are already written your signature program and you're looking for workshops or freebies that align with your signature program, you can still use that 25% to save. We just wanted to come on today and give you like an overview of the steps that you need to take. Make sure that you are also going through that program yourself. I think it's one of the best advice that I have. Go through and do the recipes, take pictures of them, show your behind the scenes. The more that you show your behind the scenes and talk about your signature program, the more that people are going to get alerted to the fact that you do what you do. And that's going to, of course, enhance your ability to attract your ideal client and convert them from a prospect to a paying client. Do you think there's anything that we missed?
I think if anything, just try to be confident in your messaging
Oh,
and in
yeah.
putting your offer out there, because that energy that you exude out there, people will feel. You have to believe in it in order for them to believe in it. And you have to show up with your message, really truly believing every word that you say, and knowing that if they don't choose your program, you know what the other option is for them. They're still going to remain sick. They're still going to have those symptoms. They're not going to get their problem fixed, or they may, and it might take 10 years instead of,
Yeah.
months with you. So I think it's really knowing that and feeling good about that when you put your message out there, because people will feel that in the messaging of the delivery.
Guys, that brings up just such a key topic that I need to tag into. I doubted myself so much. The imposter syndrome was huge. So when I would get on that phone call, I would be like shaking in my voice. And I know when I had that signature program, that it allowed me to feel really confident because I knew the steps I was taking my ideal client through. When I started seeing that people were coming to for weight loss, I started pivoting some of my messaging, talking about weight loss. It was still gut, it was still food allergies, it was still food sensitivities and mindset, but I started pivoting that message because I realized give them what they want, but lead them down the path that they need. I really set myself apart by saying weight loss done different. But because I really believed, and I still do, that when your gut is out of balance, you start naturally gaining this inflammation, which is weight. And I started showing people that if they heal their gut and they really worked on their gut health, that they would lose weight naturally. And all of a sudden that turned into another program. So what you need to do is get super clear on who you serve. Listen to what people are saying to you. Listen to what their problems are and what they want to be solved. Create your signature process and make sure that you believe in it with conviction, with confidence, and show up in that way so that your ideal client says, "Oh my God, this is the person I need to hire."
Yeah, yeah, and bring that excitement. It's an exciting thing, I think, launching a program and putting it out there and getting people in, because you finally get to do what you went to school for
Yeah.
so long, help people. So it's an exciting thing.
But be clear and specific. Remember, the more clear and specific you are on who you serve, the better you're going to be in a conversion. So when you are just saying, I help everyone, make sure that you know exactly who you help, get drilled down on it, and make it your baby. All right, guys, it's great to be with you today. Stay tuned for the next one, and I will see you later.